Hey everyone and welcome back. Today is June 14th of 2022. My name is Derek, and in this video we'll talk once again about how the United States government and the mainstream media lies to you every day by the code of numerology, which involves gematria, dates on the calendar, and of course, astrology. This past week, Washington, D.C. Mayor Muriel Bowser has ordered that the city flies flags with a 51st star on it in order to honor the Washington, D.C. Admission Act, which was passed back in April, stating that Washington, D.C. could very well become the 51st state of the Union. In this video, we'll explore how this numeric ritual is connected to the death of the daughter of a congressman from Illinois, Sean Casten, whose 17-year-old daughter, Gwen Casten, has allegedly died at their home in Downers Grove, Illinois. A lot of people in this country still live under the illusion that the government is here to help better their lives and serve them, but unfortunately, nothing could be further from the truth. This government, this media, working together to perpetually enslave the lower and middle classes, while the wealthy elite vault ahead and continue to build wealth. And here's another example of this. So why is this occurring in 2022? The United States has been a nation for over 200 years. There's been 50 states for over 60 years. Why wait until 2022 to start talking about D.C. as a 51st state? Well, the riddle is very, very simple. The United States flag was first commissioned in the year 1777 on the date June 14th, which is why today, June 14th, is still Flag Day. Measuring from 1777 to the year 2022 gives us 245 years. In the language of gematria, the very simple practice of coding numbers into words and phrases, you'll see the English ordinal cipher simply numbers the alphabet 1 through 26, with A as 1 and Z as 26. The reverse method simply flips this around so that Z is 1 and A is 26. In the reverse order, the name George Washington equals 245. This, one of the two men that the city of Washington, D.C. is named after. D.C. stands for District of Columbia, and the Columbia is a tribute to Christopher Columbus, whose name also sums to 245. And here we are seeing D.C. potentially get statehood 245 years after Flag Day. But of course, with anything in the media, there's multiple rituals going on at the same time. And think about June 14th and how it connects to someone who's very popular in the media right now. Donald Trump. Of course, recently there's been the January 6th committee, which was launched to investigate the January 6th insurrection on the Capitol. Of course, the people calling it an insurrection clearly have never seen a real insurrection before, but that's aside the point. Notice how Donald Trump was born on June 14th, Flag Day, back in the year 1946. This means today is Donald Trump's birthday, and to be precise, it would be his 76th birthday. And 76 is a pretty important number to Donald John Trump, whose name, using the reverse reduction or Pythagorean method, sums to 76. In another significant cipher I teach on this channel called Latin or Jewish gematria, seen on the left side of your screen, notice how the word insurrection has a value of 706. Again, today being the 76th birthday of Donald John Trump. The insurrection allegedly occurred at the Capitol, and notice how Capitol sums to 76. Now, if we take the number 76 and consider how it looks on a clock, 76 minutes is 1 hour and 16 minutes. In that same alphabetic order cipher, notice how U.S. Capitol equals 116. We are currently in the period of the 116th U.S. Congress. Notice how the word Congress sums to 116. And now we're being told that the District of Columbia, which sums to 116 in reverse reduction, could become state number 51. Well, notice how the number 51 sums to 116 using the reverse order. Today, Flag Day in 2022, is 1 year, 160 days after the January 6th attack. Again, representing the number 116 with the 0 dropped. This brings us to Muriel Bowser, which is the bizarre name of the mayor of Washington, D.C. Notice how in ordinal the name Muriel Bowser has that 160 value, 160 days after the anniversary of the attack, which was on 1/6. Again, 1/6 and 6/1 are the two digits in this woman's name. And we're going to talk a little bit more about this name in a little bit. Muriel Bowser, a lot like Mario and Bowser, two of the most famous video game characters of all time. This woman synced up with Shigeru Miyamoto, the man who created the Mario series. As ridiculous as it sounds, this is what's going on. But let's look at the number 116 a little more closely. Measuring from the birthday of Donald John Trump to today, Flag Day, shows us that he's exactly 1,016 sidereal months old. What we're looking at here on the right side is my new planetary calculator that'll be launching on the new website next month. And in addition to dates on our normal Gregorian calendar, you'll also be able to see orbit counts for each planet in the solar system. And notice I created the moon as its own separate table. This is because the moon is certainly more significant than any of these in our day-to-day news story rituals. So here we see Donald Trump exactly 1,016 sidereal months or lunar orbits old. Of course, the number or the name Donald has that 119 in it, very similar. Now, when we're talking about the moon, there's a strong connection to Mayor Muriel Bowser here as well. First, consider the equatorial radius of the moon. If you convert this to miles, we find that the diameter of the moon is exactly 2,160 miles, 2160. In a cipher called trigonal, which uses triangular numbers in association with the standard alphabetic order, notice how the name Muriel Elizabeth Bowser, her full name, sums to 2,160. Again, the exact width of the moon. This number is important for another reason. 216 is 6 times 6 times 6. If you instead measure from Muriel Bowser's birthday to today's date, look how many sidereal months old she is. She just so happens to be 666 months and 16 days old. Now that 16 is important because this is all connected to the geometry of the Earth, the Moon, and the Sun. We're told that the Earth's orbital velocity is 66,616 miles per hour. So here we have the numbers 666 and 616. And not only is 666 the number of the beast, but many people actually believe that 616 is the real number of the beast, as even Wikipedia tells us. And the reason these two numbers are so significant in connection to one another is that when you're 666 lunar orbits old, you're also 616 lunar phases old. So this is a different measurement that goes from new moon to new moon. The synodic period, which measures from new moon to new moon, is a little over 29 and a half days, whereas the sidereal or orbital period is 27.3 days. So this is what's responsible for the different counts. Now, she is flying her version of the Star-Spangled Banner that features 51 stars. And look at how Star-Spangled Banner has this gematria of 666 in the Jewish method. In the Fibonacci cipher, which uses the first 13 Fibonacci numbers, the name Muriel Bowser even sums to 666, that number of the beast, right? Well, her name in trigonal numbers, which we just saw her full name in, also has this 1406 value. 1406, a lot like how Flag Day here in the United States is written, the 14th of June, written 1406. Again, the same birthday as Donald Trump. Now, if you measure from the date that Donald Trump took office, January 20th of 2017 to today, it's a span of 1,972 days. Well, Muriel Bowser just so happened to be born in the year 1972. This woman, a stage actor, just like Donald Trump, another stage actor, forcing the public to pick sides. Are you going to be a Democrat or are you going to be a Republican? Which side are you going to fight for? We need someone to fight against the other side. When in reality, you're just fighting against your brothers and sisters, your own family. The real problem is that there's secret societies using this knowledge to lie to the public and come up with these fake BS news stories and then kill people off by the code. We'll get here in a minute, don't worry. And let's be reminded why the U.S. Capitol attack occurred on January 6th of all days. Now, we pointed out how the name Muriel Bowser has this 6-1 and 1-6, like how January 6th is written. But looking at our trusty Latin cipher, notice how United States Capitol equals 987. Well, the number 987 is a Fibonacci number, the 16th Fibonacci number. 16, like the date of the attack at the United States Capitol, 1-6. Again, there are no coincidences when it comes to major events within the United States government, and this is a prime perfect example. So now that we have this big thing with the 51st state going on, of course we had to have a ritual sacrifice. Notice how the number 51 sums to 616 in Jewish or Latin gematria. 616, right? Muriel Bowser, 616 lunar phases old. Look at the phrase ritual sacrifice, also 616. This is a number that's been coded into presidency and death in the past. Remember JFK, the last president to be killed in office, also has that 616 value. So this is obviously a ritual connected to the number 51, as D.C. is trying to become the 51st state. Gwen Casten was the daughter of Congressman Sean Casten. And notice how the name Sean Thomas Casten, which is his full name here, gives us a value of 51 in the standard reduction or Pythagorean method. Here, every double-digit number is reduced to a single digit prior to adding it to the equation. The name of his daughter was Gwen Casten, and notice how her name also sums to 51. In fact, the number 51 is 3 times 17, and we're told that young Gwen Casten was 17 years old when she passed away. Notice how when you write out 51st state, which this is all a ritual for, this sums to 203 in the alphabetic order. Well, if you measure from Sean Casten's birthday to today, Flag Day, notice how it's 203 days. And his daughter actually died on the 13th. That's when they found her. So this is a span of 203 days with the end date. Today's news, also 203 days without it. Furthermore, today is also 203 days before the anniversary of Sean Casten taking office on January 3rd. So as we saw earlier, today is Donald Trump's 76th birthday, a significant number to him, as Donald John Trump equals 76. Well, now we get a ritual with Congressman Sean Casten. His name also has that 76 value in the standard reduction method. In reverse Sumerian, which is the alphabetic order times 6, notice how Congressman Sean Casten equals 2028. Well, measuring from the initial flag resolution, which was in 1777, again, June 14th, 1777, To the date that Donald Trump was born, it was exactly 2,028 months. And that's significant to the United States of America. The United States of America getting its flag, 228 in the alphabetic order. But next, we're going to look further into this 666 coding. Now, in the first post, I pointed out how Muriel Bowser is currently 666. I think it's sidereal months old. I may have this backward with the lunar phases. Yeah, I did. It's sidereal months. And again, Star Spangled Banner equals 666. Muriel Bowser equals 666. With the S exception, 51st even equals 66 and 60. This resulted in the death of Gwen Casten, whose name equals 666 in standard Sumerian gematria. Measuring from the death of Gwen Casten to the date of the second Great American Total Solar Eclipse, which creates an X over the state of Illinois. Illinois, like the state where her father is a congressman. Illinois. It was 666 days before that second eclipse that she died. And of course, 666 is an incredibly significant eclipse number. The Earth's axis is tilted 66.6 degrees from the plane of the sun. Notice how sun-moon equals 666. The magic square of the sun sums to 666. Moon magic square equals 666, a number coded into NASA. I'm going to link this PDF file down below so you can see all the ways in which 666 is coded into eclipses, the Earth, the moon, the sun. It's actually pretty wild. It's being told that she died in the city of Downers Grove. And notice how Downers Grove also has this 66 and 60. But look at Jewish gematria. Downers Grove sums to 2011. Here we're told that the Washington District of Columbia is going to be the 51st state. Notice how Washington District of Columbia also sums to 2011. These are actually the same digits in 666, which equals 211 in reverse. Meanwhile, Sean Casten, looking back at Sumerian, where his daughter's name equals 666, his name is 606, and he's even currently 606 months old. Again, these two eclipses creating an X over the state of Illinois, the state that this man represents in Congress, which passed the resolution to make D.C. a 51st state. And just another example of how all of these people in government are actors. Who knows if these are even their real names? And if they are, they're certainly chosen because this is their name. The name Muriel Bowser, right? As we pointed out earlier, she was born in the year 72. And first I want to point out, Bowser is 82 and 28. And that's just like her birthday, the 2nd of August, or August 2nd, 8-2 or 2-8. However, she was born in the year 72. And this brings us to Shigeru Miyamoto, who created Mario and Bowser for Nintendo. Measuring from the birthday of Shigeru Miyamoto, 11/16 of 1952, to Muriel Bowser's birthday, you get a span of exactly 7,200 days. Well, Bowser was born in the year 72, and the two characters in the Miyamoto video game that she's named after, essentially, first appeared in the game Super Mario Brothers. And look at the gematria of Super Mario Brothers, 72. This woman born exactly 7,200 days before Miyamoto in the year 72. It's just all so ridiculous. Also, Bowser with this 101 birth numerology. Now we get the death of the daughter of Sean Casten, whose name equals 101. All right, once again, check the description for more links below. I'll update those after I'm done with this video. And that'll do it for this one. Thanks for tuning in. Peace, love, God bless, and we'll talk to you next time. See ya.